So today we will be seeing what is the formula for calcium hydroxide. Okay. For knowing the formula for calcium hydroxide, initially we will try to know what is the atomic number for calcium. Calcium has an atomic number of 20. Now looking into the electronic configuration of calcium, this is the nucleus. Okay. This is the first shell K, this is L shell, this is M shell and N shell. Okay. Now, according to Aufbau principle, what happens is K shell is having, what is the maximum number of electrons that can be found in the K shell? It is 2. Because according to the formula, 2n square, n is equal to 1. So, it should be 2 electrons. So, it will be 1s2 in K shell. This number 1 denoting that it is the first K shell and this 2 indicating the number of electrons. Then comes the L shell. The L shell is a second shell which is indicated by this 2, number 2, and then 2s2 and 2p6. So totally L shell will have 8 electrons according to the formula of 2n square. N being 2, 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8. Okay, so L shell will have a maximum of 8 electrons, that is in the 2s2 and 2p6 shell. Then you have the M shell which is going to be 3s2, 3p6. And now totally M shell will have how many electrons? 18 electrons according to the formula of 2n square. N being is 3, n the n denoting the M shell is 3. So 3 3s are 9 and 9 2s are 18. So 3s2, 3p6 and a 3d10. Okay. Now it is 3d10. Now moving on to the N shell, it is going to be 32 electron. How many electrons will be there in N shell? See, K shell will have a total of 2 electrons. L shell will have a total of 8 electrons. M shell will have 18 electrons and N shell will have 32 electrons. So now finally the N shell will have a f orbital also, which will be 4s2, 4p6 and 4d10 and 4f14. So there will be a 4f14 also coming to a role here. So S2 and P6 will count up to 8. 8 plus 10 giving 18. 18 plus 14 will give 32 electrons, which abides by the 2n square formula. The value of n being 4 in the N shell, 4 4s are 16 and 16 into 2 will be 32. So 32 electrons accommodated in 4s2, 4p6, 4d10 and 4f14 orbit. Now according to this calcium atom, we will talk how it is getting filled. First the 1s2 in the K shell gets filled. Let us draw 2 electrons in the K shell. Okay, 2 electrons in the K shell. Then comes 2s2 and 2p6. So these 8 electrons accommodated in the L shell. So totally 10 electrons get over. Now after 2p6 it is 3s2 that is getting filled in the M shell, and then comes the 3p6. So 6 more electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 3s2, 3p6 counts up to 8 electrons in the M shell. Now after 3p6 it is 4s2 that is going to be getting filled. So 4s2 being in the N shell, you have 2 electrons in the N shell. Then again, now totally how many electrons have been filled? 2. 2 plus say 8 is 10. Then 10 plus 8 is 18, 19, 20 electrons. So the electronic configuration will be written as 2 in the L shell, sorry, K shell, 8 in the L shell, 8 in the M shell, and 2 in the N shell. Clear? So it is 2, 8, 8 and 2. Counting up to 20. This is 10, this is 10. So this is the electronic configuration of calcium with 2 electrons in the outermost shell, which is also called as the valence shell, and it tends to lose these 2 electrons. Okay. So the formula of calcium hydroxide is not going to be CaOH, but it is going to be CaOH twice, because the valence electrons in the outermost shell is 2 and it is tending to lose those 2 electrons, which will make it 2 plus. Why calcium is called calcium 2 plus? Because these 2 electrons in the valence shell are going to be lost, which will make calcium a Ca2 plus cation. So let us now move on to the hydroxide atom. Hydroxide radical. Okay. It is called a radical. Okay. So it is composed of 2 atoms, nothing but oxygen and hydrogen together. We know oxygen has an electronic configuration. What is the electronic configuration of oxygen? Having an atomic number of 8. Okay. Oxygen has an electronic configuration of, see, K shell having 2 electrons and L shell having 6 electrons, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay. Now this is the oxygen atom, which then shares an electron with hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen, we always know that hydrogen has a single electron in its outermost orbit, and it tends to share this with oxygen. So this becomes OH, and now this is the hydroxyl radical. Okay, the hydroxyl radical requires 1 electron in order to become a hydroxyl ion. Okay, now the hydroxyl ion gets formed only when 2 electrons are it is in need of 1 more electron to complete the octet. Okay, here hydrogen is sharing an electron with the oxygen, because of which there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 electrons in the outermost orbital. But our calcium tends to give 2 electrons. A single calcium atom gives 2 electrons. So these 2 electrons will be given to oxygen in order to form a hydroxyl ion. So now this electron actually comes from whom? It comes from calcium. Okay, calcium tends to give 1 electron. So what do we require? We require 1 more hydroxyl ion. Okay, so here you will have 1 more hydroxyl ion, which will accept 1 more electron from calcium. Okay, this hydroxyl ion will again take in, so this is the hydroxyl ion, hydrogen is sharing 1 of its electrons, so one more electron comes from calcium. So calcium has given 2 of its electron, and this tends to form OH minus. So we have a OH minus and Ca2 plus here. So Ca2 plus and OH minus, and you are going to interchange the valencies by crisscross method, by which you will end up in the calcium hydroxide formula being CaOH twice. So this is what is calcium hydroxide.